Alright, y'all, we have a tornado near, just went through Tenkiller. If we can pull up a highway. Alright, so the winds on this thing are probably near the 85 to 90 mile an hour mark. Some very strong rotation. It's a lot of debris too. And the winds on this thing are very strong too. Let's see if we can get a wind analyzation. Winds of this thing are up into the probably the 80s right now, near 90 miles an hour. It's racing towards Christie, Eldon, near Highway 51. Near Watts, it's racing towards Siloam Springs too. I'm just hoping to get off the ground before it hits Siloam Springs. Alright, so this is now moving off towards the northeast, and looks like it's starting to weaken a little bit. We can go to 4 panels. Put this at rotation. So still some very, very strong rotation. The winds on this thing are still around the 80 mile per hour mark. So this is moving near towards Fort US 62. And Highway 51 looks like a new scan just came in. Alright, so the winds right now, they're still at the winds are still consistent at around 80 miles per hour. So we can get up a different tilt right here. So if we can 2D analyze this, see where it's at. Alright. Wow. Very, very strong tornado. It's like the winds right now are starting to clock back up into the 90s, near 100. Now if we can see where that see our tornado is here on 3D. Alright. So this is a good indicator of this being a tornado right here. It's very, very strong. It's around the 100-mile-an-hour mark on the winds. This is moving towards Highway 51 near Christie. Moving towards Watts and Siloam Springs near Highway 62 and Eldon. Can't put up a storm track right now. It's about to cross the highway with winds up into the mid 80s, around 85 miles an hour. Alright, the storm motion starting to gain some strength again, and it's moving off to the northeast. Some very strong winds on it too. Looks like the winds are now starting to get into the 110 to 115 mark. It's moving off to our northeast. It's been crossing highway in just a second, and then moving through Eldon, just to the west of Christie near Highway 62, and then just to the west of Watts, and then we're gonna move through Dripping Springs and West Siloam Springs, and then just to the west Siloam Springs, but into West Siloam Springs. It's a very strong tornado. Alright, now we're just gonna wait for some updates. Alright, just got a new update. So if we can zoom in a little bit. Winds are now down to near 80 miles an hour. It's moving towards West Siloam Springs. This is now crossing the county border into western Adair County. It's been on the ground for quite some time now. Alright, let's see. So that just crossed Highway 51. So there could be some damage near Highway 51, near the county border of Western Adair and Eastern Delaware. So there's our tornado. Just moving off to the northeast, pinpointing it for y'all. And the winds are still around the 80 to 85 mile per hour mark. Still right around the EF1 rating. It's not showing any weakening signs. Hopefully this will get off the ground before it hits Siloam Springs, the West Siloam Springs area. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section for a live broadcast. Alright, looks like we just got a new update. And still continuing. Winds are still around the winds right here around the 130 mile per hour mark. So we can convert that. So the winds right now on this tornado is around the 130 miles per hour. So that's near EF3 rating. Just crazy. Alright, looks like a new scan showing the position of that tornado. Alright. Alright, so this is a new update. So it's starting to rotation is starting to go down, which is pretty good. The winds, however, winds have went down way much too, which is really good. Looks like it's went down to around that 75 mile per hour mark. 65 knots, 75 mile an hour. It's about to cross Highway 62 near Christie, just to the west of Christie, near the Adair, Delaware County county border. So it's probably crossing right now. Now we're waiting for a new download. And it looks like the rotation has got pretty stronger. around 30.22. So the winds right now are around the approaching the 100-mile-per-hour mark again. Just crossed the highway. Highway 62. This thing is showing no sign of stopping anytime soon, which is not good. It's been on the ground since near Gore down here. And it's been on the ground for nearly an hour. Or for nearly 50 minutes. Which is near an hour, which is crazy. Got more storms developing to our southwest. As the line is about to approach. This tornado needs to die out soon. The winds right now are still into the impressive around the 80-mile-per-hour mark, 80 to 85. Siloam Springs, West Siloam Springs, take cover for the next 15 to 20 minutes. This will be crossing near that area near West Siloam Springs. About going to move into Benton County probably the next 30 minutes near Decatur, Gravette. We're hoping that it'll go down by then. It's showing no sign of stopping, which is not good. So we got a big old line of besides this, we got a big old line of severe thunderstorms right now, trucking the way through the river valley. We're at one about to go through LaFleur, Sequoia, Haskell, Latimer. The hazards on this are around 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Got another severe thunderstorm with 70-mile-per-hour winds. So we got around 70-mile-per-hour winds, very heavy rain, about to move through the river valley, which is not good. Alright, new update. Looks like the winds on this are still around the 85 to 90-mile-per-hour mark. As this seems to be taking a turn to the northeast, so it's still around that 80-mile-per-hour mark. So if we can go to 2 panels, probably. So there's that tornado as it's moving off to the northeast. Make sure our viewers know what's going on too. So we got a big line of severe thunderstorms. We got a new tornado warning down there near southern Latimer County. Alright, I'm going to post this for just a second. Alright, so let's move back. So let's move around the area and see what's going on here. Some small rotation too. If we can get ahead and see where these 70-mile-an-hour winds, there's some strong pockets right there around 60 mile an hour. There's Stigler. Let's get back to this tornado. So I want everyone to stay safe during this. We got power line down Highway 64. We got tree damage. So this is a big area of severe weather moving through. So we're now trying to get all this posted. Alright. Okay, so now so this tornado looks to be weak. Let's see, no, still around the 80-mile-per-hour mark, which is still. There's that tornado right there. It's starting to take a turn to the north now. Gonna move to Flint Creek near Concord Highway 59. It's near 412-59. We'll hit the diary. It should be in the. Let's see if we can get a measurement of when it'll be. It looks like no more thunderstorms starting to form. Let's see. Hold on. So it'll be about the next 30 to 40 minutes or so before it hits the dire area. Some strong winds on the leading edge of the storm too. Here's some embedded winds in it around the 70-mile-per-hour mark too. If we can go to the Fort Smith radar, probably get a better view of that. Alright, so we do got severe thunderstorms moving through the river valley right now. Wow. So we got near. So if I'm reading this right, we got near 75-mile-per-hour winds moving near Wilburton. We got some very strong winds. These are up into the 70s and 80s right now, moving through the river valley. Stay cautious for the next few hours as these wind measurements are approaching to the 75 miles per hour mark. Fort Smith, you're going to start seeing these winds around 75 miles per hour, 80 in probably the next 40 to 45 minutes. Let's see if we can get a measurement. Near Greenwood, this 68 miles, still around 70 mile per hour winds should be moving in probably the next 50 minutes. Lavaca probably the next 55 minutes. Everywhere in the river valley, heads up. We are seeing winds at around 70 to 80 miles per hour right now. Very, very strong, very violent. This could do some major damage, and this could be life-threatening. So stay aware, and we'll stay safe, and we will bring you this live coverage as it moves through. We're going to keep here on radar real quick. Alright, thank you for just joining us back. We're getting ready for a big event here in the River Valley. Look at this. This is the strongest winds on the storm right now, and it's showing around 75 to around 80-mile-an-hour winds on some of the leaning edge of the storm. Some of these are showing around the 50-mile-an-hour mark. Most of these are showing around 65, 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds. The strongest of these is going to move through the Fort Smith, Greenwood area, Fort Smith, Greenwood, Lavaca, Alma, Van Buren areas. That's where the strongest winds are going to hit, and we need a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Western Crawford and Central Washington. This is for 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. Big storms developing out here near Greenwood. This is some very strong winds. Wind damage is likely, and will progress through the night, and we'll need to keep a watch on this. It's moving northeast at around 70 miles an hour. Some very intense winds on this right now. Do stay alert throughout the night. Stay with us. Keep a watch on this radar. Keep a watch on Viper, and we'll get you through this. Now this is very strong storms about to move through the River Valley. So stay alert on this, and we will keep y'all updated. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin from the LH Weather Team. You're watching severe weather coverage. Alright, so we do have an alert to tell you about. We got a this is probably near the 95 mile an hour wind mark, about to move through Panama, Pensacola, Spiro, Greenwood, Poto. We got some very, very, very strong winds on the leaning edge in the storm. This could cause some very damaging effects. This one's showing probably near the 100 mile per hour mark, but just be careful as this is now trucking through the river valley. It has some very strong speeds. It's very strong. It's a very strong thunderstorm. And some of these gusts could cause some spin-up tornadoes, and we do need to be careful of that. We got some storms forming out near the Greenwood area. Looks like we just had a report. If we could zoom out, see what the report. That was a report, yeah. 60 mile an hour report. Measured 64 miles per hour winds near Stigler. That's very strong. Got some storms forming near the Greenwood area, producing around that is producing near 60 miles per hour winds near Greenwood, near Mansfield. We're showing it around 13 miles an hour here at the station with some very heavy rain. Y'all, this is very strong, life-threatening situation. As you can see here, we haven't had one of the wind like this in such a long time. And it's about to truck right through the river valley, so do stay alert as this is about to move through. We're keeping you posted, keeping you updated as this moves through the river valley. So that's the direction the wind is moving right now. And oh gosh, yeah, that's the direction the wind is moving right now. Well, probably more northern, so if we can. There we go. So it's moving in that direction. So that is moving towards the area right now with some very strong speeds. This is a very violent storm going to be moving through the area soon. If we can maybe watch it on a Fort Smith iCam, if possible. Some damage reports. So that tornado's moving off there, and then this tornado literally tracked from here all the way through there. It shut down Highway 62 right here because of tornado damage, and now looks like we're gonna have our own kind of damage of very, very strong winds. Do send in your damage reports to LHS Weather Team at lhsweather@gmail.com, or you can draw a message to me on Instagram at LHS_weather. This will be moving through the Pensacola area in about 15 minutes, and the back in Greenwood area in about the next 20 to 30 minutes. Alright, if you just joined us, we have severe thunderstorm warnings for Sebastian and Crawford County. It's for 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts on the leading edge. So look how sharp this is. This is a very crazy line of storms going to be moving through. Some of these wind gusts are near the 80 to 90-mile-per-hour mark on the leading edge of the storm, and it's very crazy right now. Fort Smith is going to take a big hit from this for sure. And there's some pockets of very strong winds near Worcester. Some very strong winds going to be moving into the Greenwood, Fort Smith, Levack area. But just stay alert on these storms. We're going to see if we can pull up our an iCam. See what's going on in Fort Smith. Let's see. Well, that camera's loading real quick. Very crazy out there right now. If we can put this in full screen to show you what's going on. Alright, so there's the Fort Smith iCam right now. Here's Viper radar showing that very strong thunderstorms are moving through right now. The winds on these are very strong. There's some pockets near the 70 to 80 mile per hour mark. It's gonna be moving through really soon. So do stay alert on this. We'll keep you updated. Don't be surprised some of the sirens are going off. It's because we got a very strong wind, very damaging wind, thunderstorm moving through. There's no tornadoes at the moment, but there is some very powerful winds, destructive winds too.
Austin, I need to go to the bathroom. Huh? You don't have to get your stuff out, I just need to go pee. Give me about 2 seconds. Maybe 5.
You don't want a recording device in here. That's just stupid. So that's a pocket of straight line winds. It's a pocket of straight line winds right there. That's definitely straight line winds. Because that it's bowing out right there. It's moving in. Gonna move into the Arkoma, Moffett, Fort Smith, Barling, Bonanza, Bacola, and Hackett area, Rock Island, Greenwood, Backham. All those areas. That's a big bowing out line right there. It's bowing out pretty large too. So that's the bowing out. That's the center that's bowing out. Right there. So we need to be careful for too. So let me find this on the Fort Smith iCam. If we can reload it. Alright, welcome back to our live coverage of the severe weather event. We got some very strong storms moving to the Fort Smith area right now. We've got another tornado warning. This is near Cedarville. As you can see, some strong rotation. There's some rotation up there near Short. Storm is now blowing through the Fort Smith area. It bowed out really strong. And that's going to leave some very strong winds. Gonna move through the Greenwood area soon. Looking at these to be moving northeast. So if you live in the Greenwood area, some very strong winds are going to be moving there through soon. If you are in the back area, some strong winds about to be moving through. Barling, you're about to get this. Let's see, Hackett, you're getting this right now. The leaning edge of this bow is now moving through Heavener, Howe, Monroe, Cameron, Picola, Arcoma, and Roland. Watching some very, very powerful winds move through the area right now.